We are in such close contact with our clients that it is very easy to blur the line between client relationship and friendship. So today we're going to be talking about whether or not you should be friends with your clients. But first, my name is Victoria. This is the Grit Glamour podcast. I'm a 13-year hair vet, and on this podcast, I talk about all the things that you need to know, want to know, and should know about surviving this industry. So here's the thing. And I've struggled with it too. So please don't think that this is coming from a sense of like, I'm looking down or no, you shouldn't do that. It's not that at all. It's just that this is a conversation that I wish that someone would have had with me years ago. Okay. I think that this issue is really exasperated when you are in a salon suite because you are by yourself. Like, you don't have a corporate backing. You don't have necessarily a salon owner, somebody else that's like writing the checks for you. Like, you write your own checks. So I feel like you definitely have to be careful with it. The short answer to the podcast, for the people that don't have the attention span to really sit and listen to this conversation, no shade, is that I don't necessarily think that you should do that. I think that you need a separation of church and state. And the reason why I say that is because we are in such close contact with people that the line is so easily blurred. Like, you just get lost in it because we are personable people. We're magnetic as hell and we're fun. Like, most of us are certified yappers. Most of us have a magnetic personality that is so easy for people to be drawn to us and to flock to us and to, trust us with their deepest, darkest secrets that we didn't ask for, aka trauma dumping sometimes, that it just happens so fast. You meet someone and then by like the second, third appointment, you understand why, they had a bad third grade, or, you just like, sometimes you just learn things about people a little bit too quickly. That this is why I think that boundaries should be in place, and then also I think the biggest part to this is that everybody's version of friendship is different. Everybody's purpose inside of a friendship is different. Like, some friends are just going to be your brunch, turn up, let's have fun, pop bottles in the section friends. Some are going to be your let's get, serious about our goals, let's do this, let's do that, strict friends. And then some friends are fair weather friends where they're only there while things are great and the money's flowing, and then the second that it dries up, they're gone. And some friends are just ride or die. It doesn't matter if you go broke tomorrow. It doesn't matter if you get sick. It doesn't matter if you hit the lottery tomorrow. They're going to be there for you. So, like, I think if you're going to cross that line, like, you got to establish what do you deem valuable in a friendship, and essentially what does that person value, in a friendship. And those aren't things you're necessarily going to know off the bat. They're going to be things that, because you could have the conversation with somebody and they could tell you all the things that you want to hear. Like, they can make it sound so sweet and so good, but it's one of those things where you are going to have to just see, and it comes with time. Now, I will say, like I said, I have crossed this boundary too. Sometimes I've crossed it too early, and then that's how I ended up with people or friends that, ask me for a discount, or I've overextended myself, or, they don't reshare, they don't repost, they don't, send me, like, they don't refer people, things like that. But when I took myself out of it, especially coming into a suite, because like I said, I don't have a corporate backing. It's hello, me right here in the flesh, that I had to be very strategic and step outside of myself when it came to new clients, new guests, and even my, regulars, that I was just kind of like, okay, Now I will say there are two specific people that I consider friends. They started off as a client. And that's the other thing too, is I think that it's possible for you to have somebody that starts off as a client and then they just become a friend. And I did that for a really long time where, clients are clients. And if we started to drift over into the friend territory, I stopped, you stop being my client, because like I said, I personally need a separation of church and state. Because essentially, like, this is my money, you know what I mean? But that's why I said that I had to be very picky about if I was going to cross that boundary, because if you are my friend, there are certain things that I look for in a friendship. And the ones that I have moved over to the friend category, they are still very much so my client. They are still very much so, hey, what do you think about this? I need this. Can you tell me this, when it comes to this industry, because they understand that this is my profession. This is not something I just picked up and decided to do tomorrow because, this is cute and it makes me money. They understand that I am a licensed professional in every single sense of the word. I study this, I live this, I breathe this, and they trust me and they know that I know exactly what I'm talking about. If I post things, they reshare it, they like it. They send people to me, they never have asked me for a discount. I would happily give them one, you know what I mean? If they absolutely truly needed it, but they don't, you know what I mean? They don't ask. And sometimes I'll throw things in there like free services, but I'll throw things or extra treatments in their service because they have been loyal to me. They've always done right by me, and I value them and I value the relationship. So of course, I'm more than willing to do things for them. If they need to, come and I'm off, I'll open up an off day for them, like that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because they understand what I'm trying to do. I have had clients that have tried to cross over into the friend category, but I quickly realized that no, you just have to stay in this client box. And it was because for example, you are calling to ask me about color advice, but you won't pay for me to color your hair. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that for me don't work. If you're fully cool with, giving away your color formula, buying color from them, which I can't even believe that we've gotten to that, but we'll talk about that another day. But if you are comfortable with doing that and that's what you find valuable in a friendship, then hey, by all means, that's what you find valuable. I just personally don't. But I think that, you really should not mix business with pleasure. And that's just that. Like, because at the end of the day, like, yes, we love to have fun. And yes, we are creating beautiful works of art. But at the end of the day, like, you are here to do a job. Like, this is your job. You know what I mean? If this is just a hobby for you, this conversation more than likely will not apply to you. If you have decided that this is your career and you're going to put both feet in, then you really have to consider what that line looks like for you when you have a client that's chartering to friend zone, and how that's going to look for you. There are some people, especially if you've been doing the hair 5, 10, 15, 25 years, they just naturally become like family, right? They see you through all different seasons. You see them through all different seasons. And I really don't think that this particular conversation applies like to them. This is more about clients that are like teeter-tottering. Like they're kind of on that border of like, they're my client and they've come consistently, they've come regularly, but now we're starting to get to know like, because it's one thing when deep things about the client, it's almost kind of like we expect it, right? Because essentially this is a lower cost of therapy. You know what I mean? I truly believe that hair care in the salon and all those things really do play into self-care. They play into mental health. They play into, all those different things. But I think that because some people use this as that type of outlet, you have to protect yourself because like I said, if you're somebody that does haircuts, for example, you are probably going to be somebody that sees like 8 to 10 different people in a shift. That's a lot of different energies to interact with. That's a lot of different energies to interact with. And so that can really be hard for you to shake off as you go home and you go about your life. I'm in a position where I'm probably only seeing like 1 to 3 clients in a day. That's still, the energies are up there. The energies are up there. So I still, take a step back and I'm just kind of like, ooh, whoa. So that's why I really wanted to have this conversation because I know that it's super, super easy to blur that line, especially because we're in close contact. We know things about clients. I think that it really starts to borderline friendship when they begin to know things about you. And even with that, I still would be super careful until you really know somebody because, of course, like when I first meet people, I tell them, basic level things about me, things that you could find out if you we're on my social media. Like, yes, I'm married. Yes, I have children. I have a dog. I'm from, Florida. I moved here from Houston. Like, just basic level, just surface level things. There's plenty of things that I'm not going to tell a living soul. But there are some things that have happened in my life that I may feel comfortable telling you. Those are things that I would tell my friends. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to necessarily tell you that until I feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Really, the point of all of this is just to tread lightly and to be cautious. I know that we want to give our guests the best experience possible, and I know that that means sometimes spilling little dirty secrets, but just don't be giving out all of your whole entire family tea. And also too, on top of that, don't be letting clients trauma dump on you either, especially when they first meet you. If it's somebody that you've known for a while and they just need to vent, that's more so understandable. But if this is my first time meeting you and you're telling me how your nephew stole your grandma's social security check and all these different things, like that's just too much for somebody to know too soon. So that's that on that. So short answer is that if you decide to cross that boundary line, tread lightly. Okay? Thanks y'all for, tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share this with a friend. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Okay? I will be back. So yeah, take care of yourself. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. I plan on doing the same. Also, don't forget, you may be in business for yourself, but you are not by yourself. Okay? So until next time, take care of yourself, take care of everybody, take care of your clients, and I'll see you later.